Original post, July 12, 2023. This is a long post and I apologize. I, 27 male, have a really good relationship with my mom, 54 female, and my dad 55 male. I am so thankful for them, and I would not be where I am if it wasn't for them. While all of this is good and heartfelt, I still feel like my parents are trying to control my decisions. It's been like this all of my life. From wanting to know where I am constantly, to who I'm hanging out with. Even the girls that I've dated. They always nitpick at everything. They've raised me right and know that I'll think carefully, but they still choose to slightly criticize. It's really taken a toll on my self-esteem and self-confidence. When I was still living under their roof, I would talk to my parents about the possibility of buying or renting a place of my own. I wanted some experience with living by myself and some privacy. Every time I would bring it up, they would always be hesitant about it. I was financially stable, and I could handle living on my own. Me not being at home was a difficult challenge for my parents when I went off to college, especially for my dad. Even though my college was 25 minutes away from home. Last year I moved away for work, which was the first time I've been away from home. My mom was a little understanding, but my dad did not like it at first. He did not like the fact that I was so far away from home. Where I live currently is about 2 hours away from my parents. Since then, a lot has developed. I love my job, I have made a good supportive group of friends that have the same beliefs as me and that I trust, I've regained some of my self-esteem, I'm more confident, and I am in a committed relationship with the girl of my dreams, for almost a year. Recently I had a call with my folks, the usual "how have things been?" and all of that. My dad asked me when I planned on moving back home. I didn't really know what to say so I just said, "I'm not sure, Dad." After we hung up, I just had to think for a second. I might be overreacting, but I love the place that I'm at right now and I don't see anything changing for a while. I don't want my relationship with my parents getting ruined, but at the same time, they should respect my decisions and my feelings without trying to micromanage my life. The baby bird leaves the nest, it doesn't come back to it. Am I the asshole for wanting more space? Relevant comments. Comment 1, not the asshole. It sounds like they're having issues cutting the umbilical cord. OP is doing right and honoring his parents by becoming an independent adult. OP, totally agree, the thing is, my parents are afraid of losing that bond that we've had for so long. They need to know that they're not losing anything, they just need to know that it's not okay to still be bossing around their 27-year-old son. Comment 2, not the asshole. But perhaps you could invite him over to your place so that he can get an idea about why it is that you enjoy your new home. A good opportunity to see you in action. It could also psychologically help him grasp the fact that you are a grown person who is independent. OP, the thing is that he has been to my place and he's seen what I've done. He just feels more comfortable if I moved back to my hometown. Comment 3, not the asshole. It is natural to want to move on from the nest and have your own life. You are happy, healthy, and thriving on your own. Your parents need to accept that and that your relationship dynamic has changed and won't go back. As for it affecting your relationship with them, it is inevitable and ultimately up to them. At this point they have two options, accept the change and adapt to having you in their life in a different way. Or they lose you forever and end up with no relationship with you at all. I would have a conversation with them about it. Explain your side and that it is not going to change. It is important to be firm and clear on this point. After that give them some time and they will eventually come around. OP, this is it. This has been on my mind for a hot minute. I want to talk to my folks about this issue. The thing that I am afraid of is that if the conversation that we have goes south, we might not recover from it. Update 1, May 5, 2024, 9.5 months later. Hello people of Reddit. If any of you are interested. A year ago, I posted on Reddit asking for advice about my parents wanting me to move back to our hometown. Well, a lot has happened in the past year. I wanted to say thank you to anyone who commented on my last post. All of the advice was welcomed and greatly appreciated. Around Thanksgiving of 2023, I sat both of my parents down to discuss my future plans. I told them that it was my life to live and if I didn't want to move back, then I didn't have to move back. Nothing was changing. They weren't going to lose me as their son as I still care for them, love and adore them. This was sort of a reality check for both of my parents. They apologized for being so controlling of that aspect of my life. My mom even started to cry. They told me that it was difficult to see me move out after being so involved with their lives over the past 26 years. At the end of this discussion, we hugged it out and nothing negative has come out of this, which was what I was afraid of in the first place. I still love my job, I still love my friends, and I'm still with my girlfriend, whom I am happily going to pop the question to this fall. Cheers everyone. I know some of you all want spicy updates when it comes to these stories, but that just won't do. Story 2, am I the asshole for telling a friend that my husband can't be cheating on me, and she's just projecting? Original post, April 29, 2024. For context, I 31 female, have been with my husband Jay, 34 male, for 10 years. We met through mutual friends, began dating shortly after, and became engaged after being together for about 2 years. We aren't legally married yet, as we both agreed we wanted an all-out wedding and to travel for our honeymoon. But that is expensive, and we wanted to prioritize spending our money on things like our house, our vehicles, medical, and so on. We bought each other matching rings that we wear as if we are married, refer to each other as husband and wife, and present as married socially, we just haven't actually had a wedding. Our families understand this, and since we are both children of divorce, our parents were fine with us not wanting to get married, since their opinion of marriage was somewhat skewed, to put it politely. Most of our friends also don't comment on our lack of being officially married, as they either don't care, agree with our logic that there are more important things to spend money on, or are the sort of people who think the point of a legal marriage isn't as necessary as it has been in the past. Then there's Trisha, 28 female. I met Trisha through an old job, and we got along really well. We enjoyed the same music, food, and had similar opinions on things like movies, books, and clothes. Trisha is a lovely person, and I do genuinely enjoy her friendship, but she occasionally goes through these odd phases where she analyzes the behavior of the men in our social circle. She will present her theories to us ladies based on things like social media posts, odd behaviors she says she noticed during group barbecues or beach trips, and things like that. While I have no problem calling out potential crappy behavior in a friend, the things she deems suspicious don't really hold water in my opinion. For example, she's never quite let go of considering a male friend gay, and her evidence is that he's a bit of a perpetual bachelor. According to him, his bachelor status is because he's holding out for a girl who doesn't mind his transient lifestyle as a man who has to travel a lot for work and would want to join him rather than wait around at home. But according to Trisha, he must be having gay dalliances across the country and refuses to tell us, even though many in our friend group are gay, out of the closet, and even bring their partners to social events. Then there's my sweet Jay. Jay has never been a very physically affectionate person, and he is likely autistic, but isn't interested in having a formal diagnosis. He took the RAADSR, a test to screen for autism in undiagnosed adults, about 4 years ago when he was seeking treatment for chronic migraines, and the results suggested strongly that he may be autistic. Once he got those results back, he sort of got over the idea of wanting answers for some of his mental health questions, preferring to just go to therapy and work on finding a good treatment for his migraines. According to him, the RAADSR was good enough to solve the mystery, and provided some closure for him. I didn't press the issue, as the idea of getting on his case about a diagnosis he didn't feel he needed seemed unnecessarily harsh to me. On top of that, Jay loves fishing. When you put these two facts together, hopefully, a picture gets painted for you, but I'll clarify anyway. He knows all about the different types of aquatic environments in our area that you can legally fish, when all the different spawning seasons are, what every species eats, how they hunt, and he can even tell what sort of fish is on his hook based on how it feels when he's pulling them in. He can look at a body of water and instantly tell you if fishing will be good that day, and he has never been wrong. It's like living with a fish-based psychic. Since I am an avid lover of seafood, his fishing and pursuit of fish-centric knowledge has only been a boon to me. I can express interest in wanting a fish dinner on Monday morning, and that night, he will bring home and cook up enough fish for us to eat like royalty. He's even excited to catch fish to make into fertilizer for my new rose bushes, since he feels confident he will be able to pull up the perfect food for my new roses. The suspicious activity, according to Trisha, is that he often goes on spur-of-the-moment fishing trips by himself, and can sometimes be gone for hours. He will randomly stand up, say something like, "All right, fishing time," and give me a kiss before he hits the road. While I would ordinarily agree that something like that could be suspicious, I know factually that Jay isn't cheating, as he always sends me countless pictures and videos while he's on these trips, as well as calling me on the phone when he's particularly excited about a good catch, how he's trying to get uniquely sneaky fish, a cool bird he saw, things like that. Even if he's gone for 10 hours, my phone will be blowing up for all 10 of those hours with pictures of his sunshine smile next to a fish, or videos of him cheering as he shows me what he's got on the stringer, a long, thin rope used to keep fish alive, but attached to your boat, in the water. I adore these pictures, videos, and phone calls, since they make my heart so full with how much joy he feels and how at peace he is on the water. I would join him more often, but I usually stay home since it wouldn't be fair to our dogs if both of us left for undefined amounts of time on a whim. Instead, I find my peace in watching through his eyes, and when he comes home, I'm always happy to get the play-by-play of how the trip went while Jay prepares the fish for us to eat. We even have a game now where he quizzes me on what types of fish he caught, and if I win, I get a big hug. None of this is good enough for Trisha. For years now, she has had her suspicions about Jay, but I've always brushed them off as I'm secure in my relationship and trust Jay implicitly. When Trisha first brought her theory to me, I brought it up to Jay, who was genuinely hurt and asked if I shared in her suspicions and wanted him to go fishing less. I told him no, but that I felt he deserved to know what Trisha was telling people about him. He understood and was willing to let sleeping dogs lie. Over the years, as Jay and I kept on keeping on, unmarried and in fishy bliss, Trisha became more and more adamant that not only was Jay cheating, but that the reason we weren't married is that he convinced me to wait for an expensive wedding and he would rather continue on cheating during fake fishing trips. Her proof was his random trips, the fact that he doesn't physically touch me a lot when we're in public, and how he never lets me go with him. Countless times, I have shown her the giant folder of fishing pictures and videos in my phone, call logs showing how often we're in communication, and told her that I didn't need to have him grabbing on me or dangling off of me in public to feel secure with him. I've brought up our responsibilities as dog owners to not leave them alone for hours on a whim without the ability to relieve themselves outside. I've even told her multiple times over the years that she's more than welcome to ask Jay if she could tag along on a trip and see for herself how committed he is to fishing, but she always refuses. Again, since Jay has been fine with ignoring the drama, I let it slide, up until about a week ago. Jay was talking about going on a day-long fishing trip with two of our friends, Vince and Maria, who were married, as they had expressed interest in going and saw the trip as a sort of blend between a staycation and a chartered boat trip. Trisha spoke privately with me, saying that I must be happy that Maria is going, since she will be able to ensure that not only Jay can't cheat on me, but that Vince can't cover for him if he tries to. I'd finally had enough, as now she was dragging poor Vince into this and slandering his character, when all Vince had done was agree to a day trip with an old friend. I told Trisha that she needs to either bring her suspicions directly to Jay and hash it out with him, or let it go, because as far as I'm concerned, she's projecting her issues onto Jay since Trisha can't keep a guy longer than 3 months. While that assessment isn't entirely true, I wanted to hurt her feelings and cut her down to size, since that's my sweet Jay she's dragging through the mud. Trisha not only took it personally, but said that I was just naive and was afraid to be single. I told Trisha that she was projecting again, since she's a serial dater who scares men off with her wannabe Sherlock Holmes nonsense, and she just can't fathom a man with a real hobby because she only goes after half-baked fake gym brothers more interested in their own tits than hers and wannabe finance brothers who blow their entire paychecks on crypto. She stopped talking to me after that, and hasn't reached out to me since. Granted, I haven't reached out to her either, but I'm mad at her, because she was rude. Our friend group doesn't really give this entire situation much weight, saying stuff like, "That's just how she is," or "What did you expect?" or "We know Jay isn't cheating, but he's an exception to the rule," and maybe Trisha just doesn't see that. While I was willing to stand my ground at first and not budge on the issue, now I'm wondering if maybe I was too harsh and should apologize for being petty just because I wanted to knock her down a peg and get her to give up on her theories. TLDR, my female friend is convinced my husband is cheating on me because he loves fishing and goes on day trips frequently, and after years of hearing her doubts and showing proof that he's faithful, I snapped at her, insulted her taste in men, and spoke negatively about her dating history. Am I the asshole, and should I apologize, or do I keep all 10 toes in the ground and let her twist? Relevant comments. Comment 1. First of all, Jay sounds wonderful. Congrats on snagging him. I smiled reading when you were talking about him, very wholesome. Trisha sucks, man. Trisha isn't helping anyone, she's actively hurting people's marriages, relationships, and friendships. I'd bail on her ASAP. I don't know what you see in a person who has put that much time into belittling your wonderful husband. I was also a little irked by people in your group chat saying Jay is the exception. How? You said Trisha is always doing this and she's wrong. Why are you friends with Trisha is fabricating rumors about your friends being gay and your husband cheating on you, like to the point that you told Jay this is what she's saying about you to people. Like you know she didn't just say it to you, but everyone, and you're still letting her hang around? Gross. OP, hearing it framed this way is a shock I think I needed. I wanted to get defensive at first, but you have a really solid point. Someone else here asked if maybe Trisha is interested in Jay, and I'm going to dig into that, But now I want to dig into this as well. Thank you for your input, it's put a lot into perspective. Comment 2, also, just food for thought. Are you sure she's not spreading rumors about you behind your back? Anyone willing to talk to you behind someone else's back, is willing to talk about you behind your back. OP, I'm sure she is at this point. Reading the comments here have changed how I view the entire friend group. I'll be speaking with some mutual friends about what they've heard, it's receipt time. Comment 3, not the asshole. It's my opinion she is stirring stuff up not because she's projecting, but because she is sad and lonely and can't abide the sight of others' happiness. She wants a friend in misery and needs other people to validate her loneliness. OP, thank you for your words. I'm starting to think she either wants someone else to commiserate with in a way we don't do now or something else more sinister. Comment 4, she sounds like a troublemaker who likes to stir the pot. Not sure why you are still friends with her, she clearly likes causing drama. OP, thank you for your input. Seeing many people say similar things is waking me up to some uncomfortable truths. Update 1, April 30, 2024. Next day. I wanted to give a small update now before I bring the X down tonight. This will be shorter, as Jay and I will be going fishing together this afternoon after lunch. I showed Jay the original thread and we had a heart-to-heart that lasted until the wee hours of the morning. Firstly, he wanted me to express his appreciation for you all, as well as a shout-out to his fellow fishing enthusiasts. He encourages you all to get out there and try your best, regardless of your success, and to instead share with him the joy it brings, even if we can't all go fishing together. After going through all of your beautiful words and generous support, we shared our thoughts on the matter not only as a couple, but as two people with different levels of attachment to the individuals in our friend group. We both agree that we had been holding on to these friendships more out of a sense of nostalgia and a desire to be kind, rather than actually examining what these friends brought to the table and whether or not they enriched our lives. We had been distracted by a desire for community and old bonds, sacrificing our comfort and respect for not only ourselves, but our choice to be together and have a dynamic that some may not view as normal or valid in some capacities. While Jay and I have different views on what certain friends mean to us, we agree that enough is enough, and it's time to not only establish boundaries, but to not give an inch to those who have caused us to come to this, Trisha especially. That said, Jay is a good man. A strong, whip-smart, generous man, and reading the feedback you all provided made me realize something. I am angry. I allowed a venomous waste of air around my sweet Jay. My Jay. She slandered him, belittled me, devalued what we have, and I allowed it, like some sort of coward. It's going to end now, and I'm ending it my way. I will not be allowing Trisha to slink away from this or have room to twist words to make me look like anything other than a woman with righteous fury regarding the man she vowed to honor and protect. I'm sorry to report I will not be taking the high road, nor will I be handling this with tact and decorum. I'm blowing her social life sky high, along with anybody who sides with her. Scorched earth, no prisoners, blood for the blood god. Update 2, May 1, 2024. I'm going to keep this as brief as possible while still covering it, as there is a lot to cover involving about 15 people, and it's still all hitting the fan. During the fishing trip yesterday, I blocked Trisha on everything and reached out to people to say that Jay and I would be distancing ourselves from Trisha, why we were, and shared what theory Trisha had about them if there was one, along with any screenshots or evidence I had of Trisha talking about them. I also asked a few friends who might know if Trisha might be interested in Jay, as some people pointed out that might have been a motivation for her to get between us. Here's what's been dug up so far. Matt, the friend Trisha alleged was gay, confirmed, again, that he isn't gay. He shared a story about how he, his roommate, and Trisha had a get-together at one point where they drank and smoked some weed. During the night, Trisha got handsy and tried getting together with Matt's roommate, who declined. When they sobered up the following morning, Trisha said that it should be fine because men like that sort of thing. After that, Matt and his roommate weren't comfortable with her and effectively barred her from going to their place. Matt suspects this is the origin of the gay rumor, and he's chosen to step away from the social group to reevaluate some things. I didn't want to press him, so I left it there. Vince and Maria have gone dark. Maria believed that Trisha was the victim in all of this, and Vince was vague in his responses and seemed to be taking a more hands-off approach, but they stopped responding when another friend sent a screenshot of Trisha alluding to them being swingers because they have a decorative pineapple on their kitchen counter. Neither of them have anyone blocked, but no one can get a response out of them, either. One friend got into an argument with his girlfriend after said girlfriend went through his phone because of the drama and found either texts or pics that, according to her, prove that he's been sleeping with Trisha on and off. I heard this from his brother, who reached out after the girlfriend left a voicemail saying she's kicking the friend out, and the brother wanted to know what was going on. I'm not sure exactly what's happening there, as that friend is also gone dark, and none of us know the girlfriend very well enough to have her phone number. One friend came clean about her struggles with prescription pain meds after her mother lost her battle with cancer because Trisha had been trying to blackmail her into getting dirt on Matt, Jay, and Vincent was using the drug abuse as leverage. Admittedly, a lot of my attention got diverted after this came to light because that's a much bigger problem than my beef with Trisha. We are still working on creating a good way for people to be a support system for her moving forward, and that will be what we as a group will focus on from here on out. An old friend of Jay's dropped a nuke by revealing that Trisha tried blowing him in the bathroom during a Friendsgiving dinner we had last year, only to turn around and try to blow a different guy in the bathroom after Chris turned her down. Jay, some other friends, and I created a new Discord server for all of the friends coming out of this drama against Trisha, and so far, it's just been a lot of comparing dates, texts, and Discord DMs, but it looks like Trisha has been trying to either sleep with or break up every guy in the friend group, as well as either get rid of or get leverage on every girl in the group. Either way, we have bigger fish to fry now. It's time to put this all behind us and help our friend who really needs it. Thank you all for your kind words and helpful advice, even the harsh stuff. I can't believe that someone didn't bring up any of the stuff Trisha has done sooner. Also, why would they defend her when OP would bring up the things Trisha said about OP's husband? Like one of my friends tried that they would be gone so fast. Anyway, thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed, have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.